Hey, I'm Ted Wen, and you're watching The Music Enthusiast.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Music Enthusiast, and I'm here with Ted Wen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so great. It's so great to be talking to you. I checked your EP out last night, and it's so great.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. So, first off, starting off deep, do you have a fondest musical memory?
A fondest musical memory. Um, I have one that sticks out. It's a little bit dark, and it sounds more dramatic than it should be. But my parents used to fight all the time, and they'd like scream at each other. And my room was right on top of the grand piano downstairs. And like when they'd stop fighting, my dad would play the piano loud and I'd go to sleep finally. And I feel like subconsciously that really made music appealing and sort of inspired me to learn how to do that.
I mean, it's dark, but it's beautiful. Like, amazing. So you were in a band, Mansions on the Moon. And now you're a solo artist. So, what are the major differences you've seen between the two?
Um, well, the band members are like my brothers. So I miss them. I moved to Nashville. They're all over the place now, but Lane and Jeff are out in LA. But yeah, the biggest difference is when I would start a track, I would start a record, and I'd usually start it on the acoustic guitar. And then I'd show it to one of them, and they could tell me whether it was terrible or good enough to pursue till the end. Now it's just sort of me. And I bounce, I'm lucky enough to have great managers and great friends that aren't just yes men. And I'll also send ideas to the band. But at the end of the day, it's like my call, and it's just my call what comes out. And that comes with a lot of pressure.
Since you're like, it's only you, do you feel as if like you're overthinking everything you're doing with your music now?
I used to, but now I don't. I used to, before I even started writing something, I would try to think, oh, will so and so like this? Will my brother think this is cool? Will Rachel like it? And my wife. And now I just start writing. And if it's what I deem good enough to show to other people, that's great. If it's not, there's no harm, there's no foul. I don't get down on myself. It's very much like a journal. You wouldn't be mad at yourself if you wrote a bad passage in your own journal. You know what I mean? But if you wrote something that you were proud of, you might read it in public.
I love that. And now let's get on to the EP. Again, I think it's great. It's like this like galactic like spacey vibe. So, how are you feeling about it being out?
I love that it's out. It was written over the period of like, I want to say 10 years, but then it finally came to fruition in the pandemic, right before the pandemic, which a blessing and a curse, I guess.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to release the first project in a pandemic. It allowed, I guess the blessing was it allowed me to really hone what the art and what I'm trying to do and portray on the internet, because obviously everything has to go through the internet because I'm not playing live shows, I'm not meeting people, I'm not opening for anyone. So it really helped me hone in on that sort of media presence. But I would have loved to play these songs live, and I look forward to it. I'd love to play these songs in support of a similar sounding badass act,
Yeah.
and I hope to do it. But yeah, so that's the upside and downside of the pandemic and releasing music.
I mean, speaking of the pandemic, like when was one and who was your last concert?
Oh gosh.
Do you even remember it? Because it's been so long ago.
Oh man. I went to this electronic music festival in Nashville that had a bunch of my friends playing at it. I forgot what it was called, but yeah, that would be it. I know that's not very good because I don't remember the name. I could look it up, but yeah, it was an electronic music festival. It was the last in Nashville.
Oh my god, that's so much fun. Like mine
Yeah,
was like in March when like the pandemic like was starting and like everyone was like elbow bumping each other and it was like fun but sad at the same time.
yeah,
But yeah, onto
yeah.
the EP again. It's so great. So, I mean, a basic question, but a good one. What sort of inspired you to move to like the spacey vibe?
I don't think it was intentional.
Really?
I think my voice has a lot of breath to it,
Yeah.
and I choose to highlight that with vocal stacks, and so vocally it's kind of like Enya in a way because she just stacked a ton of stuff, and so it has that spacey vibe. I wanted to juxtapose that with hard hitting drums
Yeah.
because I like that. And I guess the intention was to make people move and not know they're moving, kind of just space out, but move and as an escape because music is an escape for me. So I don't know if it was intentional, but I'm glad it's spacey.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely makes you feel that way. Like you're escaping into like another dimension, and it's like so cool. Especially listening
Thank
to it
you.
at night. It's such a vibe.
Thanks.
No problem. And since it was made like so over 10 years, like were some songs left out?
I have so many songs that are in the catalog, I guess you could say, and hopefully someday they'll get developed. I have a problem with I have to feel like I need to finish these songs, but every time I sit down at my computer and my guitar or keyboard, I'm just like new project, and I start something new just because it's so much more fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of songs didn't get finished, but I'm planning on putting out an LP soon, and so a lot of those songs will be on there. And then there's songs that honestly I wrote back in high school, and it's songs that I still have recorded that I'd love to finish.
Oh my god, amazing. And I love how like when artists release stuff, they're like on to the next already. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
And along with the EP, you're releasing a 6-part video series. So how are you feeling about that? I mean, it's so cool so far.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we've got the last one coming out this week on Thursday. I think they turned out really great. Initially, I wanted to be there for some of the shoots, but it was done by a Toronto-based company called Black Lake. And at the time, this is another pandemic reference. At the time, the Canadian border was closed, so I couldn't go. But we went back and forth with my management and like some creative people and Black Lake, and it was a collaboration that made it what it is. And I think like you said, it's spacey and the visuals are very spacey, otherworldly, which I think goes well. I like how the characters, it's episodic and yet they intertwine. If you look at Easter eggs in the videos, you'll see the orb. They are able to see the other people in the other videos, the other characters, and so it's all connected. And I think that was a really creative way to do a video for every song and make it sort of like a series. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's so great. Everything about it, amazing.
Thanks.
Do you have a favorite video?
Favorite music video of all time?
Or I was
Or
talking about the one you made, yeah.
oh, my um let's see. I think the one for Nothing Left is my favorite. The one with the TVs, but it's hard to choose. But yeah, I think that's my favorite.
Amazing. I especially love the Guide Me Home one. That one's so cool.
Yeah, with the camcorder,
Yeah.
definitely.
I thought this was super funny because I ask this question sometimes in interviews and it intertwines with the whole space vibe.
Mhm.
So, if you could perform on any planet, which one would it be and why?
And it goes without saying that the planets are all survivable.
Yes.
Okay. Um, you know, I don't know any off the top of my head, but those exoplanets that are like Earth, because I think they would probably, the ones that they've discovered in different solar systems,
Oh,
I
okay.
think that they would probably have the most likely audience. Because if I go to Jupiter, I'm playing by myself, you know? Jupiter would be fun because you'd be floating, but the gravity is so intense because it's gaseous, and like that would be really fun. But I think I'd go for like a planet that has a good chance of having intelligent life so I could play for some people and they could play for me.
That's amazing. That would be so cool. I
Yeah.
would be there in a heartbeat. And last question, do you have any favorite artists at the moment that you want to share?
Let me think. Who am I listening to? I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm sorry.
No problem.
It's terrible. I think what Arlo Parks is doing, those songs are awesome. I like her writing style. The thing, the thing that I do is I just like listen to my friends' playlists and other playlists that are curated, and I just like the songs, and I never look at who they're by. So it's just like I have all this music I'm listening to, but I have no idea who wrote
That's so cool though, because you're like
it.
discovering different artists without knowing who they are like every second.
Right. Listening to, so I can.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you a top three off of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So one, Remy Wolf. She
A
is
new wolf.
so cool.
I'm putting these in Spotify so I can like them and remember them. Remy Wolf. Okay.
Um,
Awesome.
I'm sort of cheating by looking at my wall right here, but like
I had to cheat and I couldn't even answer it.
Still Woozy is another good one.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. They're on my list. Yep.
Um, another one.
Is that one guy though? One kid?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
so cool.
I forgot
And
which song I like by them or him.
he has so many good songs.
Yeah.
And then there's this girl named Madeline who is pretty new, but so good. I interviewed her yesterday. She's so sweet.
And it's just Madeline.
Yeah.
Madeline the person.
No, I love her too, though, but
Oh,
just
you're just really into the Madeline music scene.
yeah.
Well, I like your room. You
Thank
have a bunch of pictures on the wall like I do.
I recently got this plant. His name is Pablo. I
Pablo. I name what kind of plant is it?
have no idea.
I named a cactus that I bought George. And I bought him the day that my brother's son was born. He didn't tell us his name was going to be George. I've never named anything George,
Oh
and I
my
named
God.
the cactus George. So he told me, and I was like, dude, I just named my cactus that. He was like,
Name your
oh,
child now. Like,
like, I'm sorry, I named my kid after your cactus. My bad.
oh my God, that's so funny. Well, it was so much fun talking to you.
Yeah, it was fun talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.